I have a couple of different messages coming through. So I'll probably do a couple of different videos, but this first one is, what do you do when you're in love and you don't know what to do? So that's kind of, I think that's someone's kind of healing through their own inner world right now. They're trying to understand how to process their emotions. I feel like this is somebody who, when they allow themselves to feel love, it's kind of like an avalanche, right? I'm hearing kind of snowed in, but the irony is they might be snowed in down here, but they're also the ones kind of creating the avalanche. So I think, it's really interesting because I have this message coming through, and it's kind of like, especially if you're on a divine journey, so divine counterparts, it's kind of like you really have to recognize the differences between, people don't talk about differences enough, because if anything, when you're on the divine journey, if there's one thing for certain, is that you're going to have differences, because these are part of the barriers that you have to overcome, part of the energies that you're healing through. Okay, straight away we've got the beautiful Nine of Cups. I like it. Justice, Hanged Man, Four of Swords. Yeah, it's someone's wishes have been on hold. Truly, someone's heart has had to have a lot of lessons. Ace of Pentacles. Something new is on the horizon. It truly is. Eight of Swords. Yeah, this is what I mean. There's been so much clarity that they've had to gain in their headspace about kind of the way they've been taught about whether it's love or relationships, connections of all kinds, right? But specifically love. And I was going to say, when it comes to like divine connections specifically, you really do have different, whether it's cultural differences, big age differences, whatever it is in society, that's going to be a potential problem or issue, which shouldn't be, which is why you're here to clear through that, right? Someone's been really, someone's thoughts really go off the charts here when they think about what they truly desire. I don't think they realize that it's actually within them. I think that it's their nervous system. It's like they're needing to learn how to allow their nervous system to become such a space where it can hold this kind of level, this energy that they're wanting to bring in, that they have the full capacity to hold. But with the Knight of Wands and Nine of Swords, they go in a spiral. Truly, they spiral. Page of Wands. It's about taking small actions. It really is, but not so small that you're not giving it your full, intention. That's another thing. You need to be so intentional. When you're just running, when you're in love and you don't know how to handle love, or just generally you don't know how to like approach love, you can often end up in situations. Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck, confirmation. You can often end up in situations where you're running off a spark, truly, because you're avoiding the depth of what's within you. Not even about anybody else, but what's within you. You're avoiding that, or you're running away from it, or you're just really afraid to handle the emotion, because for some reason there's something in the back of your mind, some way, shape or form, at one point, when you were a child or whatever it is, really taught you that it's either dangerous, is what I'm hearing, or just like this fear around it is, and that's again the timeline that you need to release yourself from, the timelines of fear, illusion, division, separation, right? That's what you're here to break through. You're here to really come through to create unity, to create togetherness, to appreciate all the differences around you and within you, and the ability to handle this emotion that you are here to handle, that beautiful divine love. You are a divine messenger. Yeah. Now it's really about you recognizing that that's exactly why you need to heal through all of this that's within you, because it collectively exists, right? My throat's really hurting as I do this. I feel like someone's finding it very difficult to express themselves, truly. Look at this, Page of Swords, and just as I said, express yourself, Page of Swords came out. There's definitely something here about learning how to communicate lovingly, but also just from someone's truth, because that's come out with Justice. Truths have been revealed for this energy. Four of Wands, so it's like giving that 11-11 union kind of energy, right? It is a twin flame card as well for some. The Star, so the King of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Someone's definitely been going through this healing. Too many cards, and I feel like, just as the King of Wands at the bottom, and look what's just come out, the Queen of Wands. This Queen of Wands is in someone's mind, like literally stuck on someone's mind, because they haven't been able to really channel these emotions. So it's kind of, I will say the word obsessive is coming through. So it's kind of, they've had these kind of obsessive tendencies with this particular energy, Knight of Cups. They're living in a fantasy. Every time they're in a fantasy state, they're thinking about this Queen of Wands. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? It's just about honouring the emotion for what it is and not allowing it to just sit in an illusionary state, right? Because when you bring it into reality, that's when you've really got to know how to handle kind of, oh my God, look, the Knight of Cups and then the Empress and then the Eight of Wands. Yeah, someone definitely wants to come forward. And I do feel like that's a vibe moving forward. But I was talking about going on, I think someone's got lots of different things to say. You don't want to be running off a spark, because the more you're running off a spark, it's like a fuse burns out here, fuse burns out there, fuse burns out there, right? You're never actually staying on the path and reaching your full, like I'm hearing specifically full potential of your heart. The bottom of the deck, someone's about to take a leap of faith. They're wanting to, right? It's just that mind space that's being cleared through. The Devil with the Knight of Wands and then the Three of Cups. Ooh, someone's massively run off a spark. My face really just did that. So maybe this is how you're feeling, or someone's feeling like this, but maybe they're ashamed of themselves. They've already run off lust, like massively. I'm hearing guilty pleasures, but I'm also hearing just like this energy of, it's a pleasure, but it's not. You're just constantly chasing dopamine hits. So you're needing more and more every single time. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, it's like you're doing that, but while you're doing that, you're avoiding the absolute divine journey that you could truly be like going on. That you can't really explain it. You know, when you're going in pleasurable dopamine hits, people think, oh my God, that's the high, that's amazing, that feels so good, right? Because in the moment it does, and then you're chasing it again, then you're chasing it again, then you're chasing it again. But the difference between going through that other journey where it's like you're actually part of your divine purpose, and no matter what, you'll constantly have to keep facing it and the tower will keep crumbling, right? That journey, the divine journey that you really do when you face it, the levels of depth of emotion, of truth, is just unmatched. You can't explain it until you truly feel it and you really recognize the awe, the beauty, the wonder in that love that exists within you and outside of you. That is a feeling that is irreplaceable. This dopamine hit, pleasure after pleasure, is replaceable very easily, especially in this society that wants to keep you in that spiral. Truly, not ascending higher, reaching your truest full potential. That keeps coming through. 10 of Wands with the 9 of Swords. Someone's mind is literally in the Page of Cups. Their mind has been like their own burden, heaviest burden. I think they have a lot of thought patterns in their head because they were created from everything that they've been through, this pain. 7 of Wands, as I said, that this is what they're overcoming. They've overcome so much. 6 of Swords. No, 6 of Wands. Lots of fire energy, I feel like here. Lots of it. So it could be fire signs in the mix. Someone could be, or just have that energy, you know, maybe it's a lot present in your chart prominently, stelliums, that kind of thing, or just those qualities you embody, like, right? Action especially. Okay, so someone's overcoming, they're seeing clearly, that's for sure, and that's because of the karma they've had to clear through. They've really had to clear through so much to see things finally from here. I think it started here though. Yeah, now they're allowing themselves to travel here a bit more. But I do think so much clarity. Just as I said, that's come out with the column to do with kind of that clarity, that clearer seeing, clearer thinking. That's really beautiful. So I was learning what to do when it comes to love and their feelings. That's for sure. They're overcoming these barriers that they've created within themselves because they're realizing it's not about pointing fingers outside of you. It's about how you holding yourself into that state still. Do you know what I mean? And that's the ultimate energy of how you can really release yourself finally. The Page of Cups did want to come out. Someone really wants to move forwards. The Magician, they really want to create something new here, truly. They're seeing the horizon. As they're clearing through their mental space, they're taking time as well to do this by themselves or whatever it is, just silence, maybe meditation. I've heard something about a retreat, maybe retreating. And now they're seeing everything in front of them that they have, that they can truly move forwards with, if that makes sense. They're recognizing every tool that is in their toolkit, their box. They're recognizing it's their turn now. Someone from a young age hasn't really understood true foundation when it comes to union, sacred union, and this is why it's within them. They've had a real difficulty finding that within themselves to really honor the kind of the dark and the light within them, and the masculine and the feminine within as well. Okay, 5 of Cups. Oh, they've got and the King of Cups. Ooh. Okay, interesting. I think they have a lot of regret when it comes to this Queen of Wands energy that's coming through. I mean, this is stuck in their mind and they're very regretful. I think I'm hearing something about forgiveness, but also I just feel this real like they can't believe they've done that kind of thing energy. Like they feel really, really sad about this. But then you've got the King of Cups with the Devil and the Knight of Wands. That's interesting. So it could be that someone that's the energy of their masking their emotions, truly. Knight of Swords as well with that. Yeah, I think that they've been in such a spin that their impulse has constantly led them away from like into this more destructive energy, whereas they have this potential to give so much love, to offer so much love, but they also want to receive that, but then they've been so guarded with that energy, very kind of in their kind of I feel like there's just been this guarded energy, truly running off. It's kind of like, that energy where you just, I want to say impulse, but it's not really impulse that I'm thinking. It's kind of like running before you're thinking about it, right? So making the move, not thinking about it, but also just not allowing yourself to really understand it, right? So understand the emotion that was behind that. Someone is recognizing the need to come together to really move forwards now. Oh my God, Three of Wands that was from there. Three of Wands, King of Wands again at the bottom of the deck. Someone wants to move forward towards this energy, towards their true, their truth, their heart, that kind of thing. Six of Wands wanted to come out. Success is on their mind, and that's come out with this beautiful column here. They're really wanting to bring balance. Six of Swords did want to come out here. Yeah, they're ready to move forward. This is someone who's truly ready to move forward. There's just these this lingering energy of running away. Yeah, even they're afraid that they're going to just run away again or something. I don't know. I think maybe they avoid deeper emotion or when things get difficult, and in their mind there's this like fear-based energy, that frequency I was talking about that just comes through. The Strength card, they've been gathering a lot of strength as they've been healing, spending time alone, understanding. I think a mental strength is a really big deal for this energy, really, which is what helps them to understand them. Emotional strength, this Seven of Swords, that's the betrayal. That's with the Queen of Wands, the Five of Cups and the Eight of Swords. No wonder they're regretful. They feel like they've really betrayed this energy. I think they have. They've lied about their emotions. They've lied to themselves, which have resulted in going into that spiral that I'm talking about, that constant pleasure after pleasure, hit after hit, That just tells you how much they were deep in their emotions and they weren't able to address their emotions, because that's the level of which they were constantly avoiding, seeking outside of them. Too much. I think that they've romanticized temptation is what I'm hearing, which is really interesting. 10 of Cups. That's beautiful. So 10 of Wands to 10 of Cups, and that's in the same, okay? So, and they know that you need to come together with the Three of Pentacles to create that 10 of Cups, okay? So it's this kind of energy of wanting to come together like this and create that foundation where you do things together. Again, the Empress and the Eight of Wands beneath that. Can't make this up, truly. Oh my God, the Chariot and the Two of Cups. This is someone who, I feel like there's like this, beneath it all, there's this drive, but right about now someone has so much regret because they're understanding their past choices. They're trying to understand anyway. That's King of Cups there. It's just, they've struggled. They've really struggled with understanding their emotions, but also expressing them. And also, I feel like they have this energy of them needing to be seen in this certain way, like they can handle it or whatever, but beneath the surface they're just honestly a mess is what I've just heard. It's really sad. It's like they've never been safe, or they've not ever felt safe in love, so they've like run as soon as they can before they can get hurt, kind of thing. Okay, so finances and career, they might be helping, they might be focused on the finances and career now. Maybe you are. There's this energy also of they're like friends, people that you're around right now, whether they're getting the right support, whether it's friendships or just the right support around them. But also be careful of what you're doing when it comes to your finances. Are you doing things in the right way, or are there some underhanded tactics or something? They're handling something. I did say retreat, and this is a card that's come through. There's something about this. Maybe they're away with friends. A friend's wedding, maybe, so I've heard. Retreat, or maybe they're just really retreating into themselves, away from a lot around them, okay? Playfulness energy, recapturing the youth, the fun. that is important, I think, here, especially with these Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands. I think you both have this kind of playful energy within, but it's about how can you trust. Oh, and just to say that, sorry, I even saw that trust has come out, and so you can both really trust each other, and whatever this is, this new love that wants to come through, keeping an open mind. I think that, because it's so easy to create those templates. Again, I mentioned that society, those cultural differences or whatever it is, you have that embedded in you from such a young age, from everything around you. That's what you're breaking through from, right? Love yourself first. Your self-respect, your truth is not the same as everyone outside of you, which is why this is such a deep journey, right? You have to really dig into yourself and allow yourself to understand your truth. I feel like someone's really exhausted. I don't know if there's been out or something, and there's just like this energy of exhaustion. Give relationship a chance. Confirmation, this is a divine connection that's coming through. True love, romance of lifetimes. Truly, give this a chance. It's worth giving it that chance. There's no, that trust is really important. Be mindful of who you're listening to outside of you. The external energies. You already know this. You've seen those calls on your energy. I think this is like absolute confirmation right now to me that this truly is exactly what I've just been saying. Reconciliation. That's that. Someone really is feeling so regretful. They listened to too many people outside of them is what I'm getting here. I think they were focused on their career, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but for some reason in their mind, that was kind of, they've been brought up in this way to think that it's either one or the other, or their focus has to be in a certain way. What they don't realise is when you truly come together, you are a force to be reckoned with, because you work together in alignment, but it's about finding that alignment within yourself first, right? So you can really bring that to each other. I think that they've had far too much of this energy of just taking things all lightly, which isn't bad. But now they're at this stage where they're like, oh, fuck, look what I've done with all my emotions. Just bottle them down, ignore them, run off kind of, this energy of, I can't think of the word. It's really annoying, but it's just like this full steam ahead, not really thinking. Passion. Yeah. And that's what's been the driving force. And, it can be beautiful to have passion. I do think these are two energies, beautiful passion. But if you're just allowing that to drive you, like this passionate energy, the passion is beautiful. But when it turns into impulse, and these kind of energies really show X, where you just end up in that situation again, where either it's a situation or just, I'm hearing baggage specifically, so I'm not sure what that means. But it just ends up being this... just another cycle that you need to learn from that hurts you, and then you think, oh, you have to avoid actual true love, when actually, no, that's meant to be the healing love, because you just like allowed yourself to run through these cycles that are just painful. You're doing it to yourself, right? It doesn't make sense, but here we go. Stay optimistic about your love life, okay? It does make sense. Everyone's been through their own traumas that have taught them these templates that are embedded deeply within their mind until they become conscious of these are going to continue to run through the same cycles. We know this, right? But really, you have to be intentional with this, and you have to take accountability. There's a level of, I'm hearing the word maturity, but I don't think that's what it is. It's simply, you go through life, like you get to that point in your life where you're just like, enough is enough, surely. New love again wants to come through, truly does. You've got to have faith in this. This energy, it's kind of like this energy of, I don't know, I feel like someone here is just like, it's not fed up, they're just like, this is, I'm going to say it because come through, but it's kind of this is just getting ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, there is this case of, you do get to a stage in your life where you recognise what you have been avoiding versus what you've allowed yourself to face, right? And some people simply just don't face it, and they continue their cycles, and society supports them in, whatever it is. It's not about being judgmental, right? It's about really recognising who and what isn't right for you, right? Instead of just allowing yourself to continue to go after whether it's just lust or whatever it is, right? Conclusions are within reach. The answers, I feel like, are coming, right? But there's also this energy of closing it off now. Like, I don't know if closure is the right word, but there is this energy of kind of whatever's been hidden is going to be revealed. This is confirmation. Communication is key. That's been coming through a lot. So that's definitely, I feel like, confirmation, especially that Eight of Wands. It's funny because it didn't actually come out though, but then the reconciliation part and the communication of this huge desire for this new love to come through, this kind of communication to come through. But first, it's like this energy of something needs to close through first, and it's again that mindset of At what point on your journey are you going to finally say, you know what, enough is enough, to yourself? A time to give rather than take. And this has been someone who has, kind of, I heard it, selfish. They've acted in very selfish ways. I'm not saying that that's it, but I think that they genuinely have just been so, like, egocentric. Like, and I don't think that's their fault. I genuinely think it's trauma. I think that it's, and that's sad. They've genuinely been operating from this trauma, and they've just had to put themselves first because they're avoiding. It's like a constant survival mode, and they not realise that that's how they're acting, in like just allowing themselves to keep repeating this. Like, don't let pride get in your way. So important. So when you get to that stage where you're able to access this Queen of Wands energy, this reconciliation, this communication that's coming through, this Nine of Cups, right? This balancing out, this beautiful karma, getting this divine justice. Do not let pride that up. Okay, I think somebody might very well swear a lot here in this connection. Okay, so they're going to have to really give now. They're going to be in a giving energy. It's very divine masculine energy, might I add, by the way. Obviously there's always balance, you know. It's not about like taking advantage of at all, right? You got to find that balance within you. A personal issue reaches resolution, and that's the thing. I feel like there needs to be this kind of closure for this new beginning to enter the scene. That just flipped over like that. You're very close to achieving your goal. This has been on somebody's mind, 1000%. Okay, let's see. Believe in the impossible. Love that card. Blue Moon. Blue Moon. That song. Oh, I love that. Getting Audrey Hepburn. Breakfast at Tiffany's. Okay. Lots of blue. So I'm definitely seeing the throat chakra coming through here. A time for healing. A fiery climax approaches. I think that whatever this is, it's going to be in itself a healing phase that comes through. And that's the only way you're going to be able to close out this energy finally, whatever this has been lingering, if that makes sense. There's also this energy of learning to trust yourself first, not the externals that you've really has kept you stuck in this mind space. Okay, this situation is already resolved. Self-respect, confirmation, again, confirmation. What decisions are you making? Who are you allowing to really feed off you, right? Self-respect. Wow, there's something really big about that. I think somebody hasn't been operating in self-respect. Integrity, eternal love. Don't let people take you for granted, take advantage of you, even if it is your divine person, whatever it is, and they're acting in these kind of ways, you know. They have to show up right. Doesn't mean you have to be all rude and aggressive, but you do have to stand in your boundaries. Trust yourself. Remember, spend time outdoors. So this energy of connecting to nature, not getting too stuck in that kind of space where you're just telling yourself that same story. Sometimes the spirits, again, eternal love, sometimes the spirits want to communicate with you, you know. Outside, we're talking about the air, the earth, you know. Water could be important for somebody. Keep your eyes on the targeted intention. You know what you want, and it's literally available to you. And I think that is very much on your life path, okay? So be gentle with yourself, okay? You decide to be happy now. It's your decision to make. It always is. Focus on divine and perfect health. If there's something happening right now when it comes to, again, that can make it difficult to kind of focus your energy when you've got health things going on. It really can. But I do think someone's health has been affected by all of this bottled up emotion I'm hearing, but also this energy that has just been suppressed and never been allowed to truly be themselves. It wanted to come out. Eternal love. You are on the right path. Okay, this is all just confirmation. What you already know deep inside, okay? Let me know if this reading was for you. Sending so much love.